Hey, so for my first recipe video, we are going to be making caramelized onions in the slow cooker because it's easy. And I bought 100 pounds of onions recently. We have the best onions in New Mexico. Like, honestly, the best, sweetest, yummiest. You can just eat them like apples, onions. So I need to use them and we need to start prepping them, or I'm going to be having 100 pounds of onions sitting around. You can store them in pantyhose hanging in the shed, and I did that last year and they lasted for like a year. So that is a possibility. So here are the onions. Obviously, I'm going to be using probably 2 or 3 pounds. And you just put some butter in the bottom of the slow cooker. You're supposed to let that melt before you put the onions in, but I have absolutely no patience at all, especially when it comes to cooking. So anyway, you let them go for 12 hours in the slow cooker and try them and see if you like them. And if you don't, you can add a little bit of brown sugar or balsamic vinegar. I like to do that just because it makes them a darker brown and it makes them look better, more appealing. I don't know, that's just me. But the other thing is to leave the cover a little bit ajar. Leave the lid just a little bit ajar so that that juice from those onions can come out of the slow cooker as they cook, so that you get that gel texture that you're looking for in caramelized onions. Because if you don't, generally what will happen is it will just kind of get soupy. So like the last 3 hours at least, I always like to leave the lid ajar and let them breathe, so to speak. So I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so this is what they look like when they're done. They're nice and beautiful and golden and yummy. I wish you guys could smell these. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to mention a couple things. First of all, you can see that they cook down a lot. So you always want to make sure that that slow cooker is like pretty full, or you're not going to end up with very many caramelized onions. And the other two things that I forgot to mention are that when you slice the onions, you want to slice them in slices and then in half so that you get those long strings. You don't want to dice the onion, you want to slice them. And then also, as far as balsamic vinegar and brown sugar are concerned, if you do decide to do that, you need very, very little. You want to do maybe a tablespoon of the balsamic vinegar and just a sprinkle or two of the brown sugar, because you want this dish to be healthy. You don't want to overload it with sugar. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.